Hello and welcome to another Bookish avec moi with me, and this is where I'll be talking about what is going on in my bookish related life in the past week. So, I finished 2 books this week, and one of those books actually was a book for the Booker Prize I'm reading. So I'm not going to talk about that book in this video. How I will, however, talk about the other book that I finished. But before I continue with this video, I just kind of have this tiny little question. So basically, in 2 of the books that I read this week, and I'm not gonna say what books those were because both of those books were the books I read for the Booker Prize. I just found something interesting. This is not me expressing my opinion, so I think that's fine. But anyway, I found in those 2 books mother characters, who expressed their dislike over their daughters, calling them ma'am, addressing them with ma'am. And I don't know, I just find it really interesting that this kind of happens in both of those books. It's kind of like a parallel experience of sorts. And I just feel kind of curious for those of you out there, especially the moms, especially the English-speaking moms. What is it with disliking your daughters calling you ma'am? Or is it a thing? I'm just not sure. This is my I just feel kind of curious about that. So yeah, let's move on to this video. So I finished 2 books, but I'm not going to talk about the other one. I'm going to talk about this book, however, which I finished some few days ago. This is All My Puny Sorrows by Miriam Toews. This book was a really good read, I think. This book is about mental illness, so that's certainly a trigger warning. It has elements, and it also includes things like suicides, suicidal ideation, loss of loved ones, all those things. So if you are interested in reading this book, keep that in mind, because those topics are certainly very featured very prominently in this book. But I think that this book, especially one that talks about mental illness and depression, this book talks about those topics really well, and in a I would say rather unique fashion. So basically what this book is about is these 2 sisters. One of the sisters' name is Yolandi, and another one is called Elfrida. So Yolandi is also known as Yoli in this book, Elfrida Elf. So what goes on with these 2 sisters is that Yoli is trying really hard to support Elf, who is experiencing some really bad experience in her life. She is struggling with depression. She is struggling with suicidal tendencies, and she has been hospitalized a few times because of her suicidal attempts. And so Elf is in this situation, and Yoli is just trying so hard to be there to support her, to give her the appropriate emotional support to Elf, and just in general tries to be there. This book is generally about the kinds of struggle and the frustration that Yoli is experiencing over the course of trying to provide the appropriate kind of care towards Elf, who is really struggling with mental health issues in this book. And what I really like about this book is that even though it talks a lot about mental health, it talks a lot about depression, it does not portray those topics as something that some kind of trauma porn, and it does not really try to glorify any of the say very harrowing or kind of commonly romanticized aspects of mental health issues. Rather, what you see mostly in here are just the mundane side of trying to provide care for a mental health patient, especially that patient is someone that you love, someone who is your family member. And it explores also the kinds of frustrations, the kinds of dilemmas that you face, where you really don't know exactly what you should or shouldn't do sometimes, because you simply do not, you as an outsider, as a kind of like a bystander, you don't really, you're not exactly there at the same wavelength as the person who is really struggling. So it's kind of difficult for a caregiver to gauge what kind of what kind of care that she should provide. And at the same time, this book also portrays that kind of situation, family situation, in a rather, I would say, light-hearted way. And it's certainly not flippant. There are plenty of moments in this book that are quite funny, but they are also funny in a sense that there is some kind of dark comedy element to it. So that certainly makes this book feel really unique, and I really enjoyed reading this book. And it's a nice book. It's a lovely book. So that's it for the book that I finished this week. What am I currently reading? I am currently reading one book for the Booktube Prize. I still have 4 books to go, and I think I am going to start one book soon. I am also currently actively engaging, although I just started this week, with this book by Akwaeke Emezi. This one is called Freshwater, and I'm also starting this book, Alice Smith. Oh my gosh, the glare. This is Alice Smith's Summer. And I guess that's it for the books that I'm really reading this week. Not a lot. So I guess I'm going to talk about something else. And that something else is, something that happened this week. Basically, I participated in some kind of giveaway a few weeks ago, and this giveaway was hosted by Malaysian booktubers. Go read yourself. I'm gonna put down the link in the description box. Faye and Key from Go Read Yourself. And as usual, like all other giveaways, I did not win. But what they did was, because I participated, they gave me a free book. And I mean, I never minded the fact that I didn't win the giveaway, because it's like the normal. I think it would be abnormal if I actually win any giveaway. But what makes it great is that I receive a free book. So yeah, free books are always awesome. And this one is by Meg Wolitzer. This is The Wife. This is kind of like a domestic fiction, I think. Basically, there is this female character, the wife, who is the spouse of a writer, famous writer, accomplished writer. She has been under the shadow of this husband, her husband, and so one day she just decided enough, and she kind of wanted to, I suppose, carve up her own success. I think that's what the direction of this book is, based on the blurb, based on my understanding of the blurb. So, but yeah, free book. So, I guess that's it for this week's video. Not much to say, because, yeah, some of the books are the Book 2 prize books. And so I guess I'll see you again in a different one. Until then, take care. Thanks for watching, and bye.